Hello everybody, it's KJ and I'm doing my September TBR and I can't believe it's September already. Oh, okay, so I'm excited for September because I've got a lot of good books and I'm going to start with my buddy reads because I'm doing buddy reads this month and it's my first time doing buddy reads, but I'm excited. So first up is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. Grossman. I hate saying authors' names. So I am buddy reading this with Alexandra Roslin, which I said her name right this time. Alexandra Roslin and Elizabeth over at Spicy Books Lady. I will link both their channels down below. Please go check them out if you don't follow them already. Love them. So if you don't already know what The Magicians is about, it's said to be the adult version of Harry Potter, but it's more closely linked to like the Chronicles of Narnia though. So Quentin Coldwater is the main character and he's got anxiety, which relatable. So he goes to a magical college. He loves these books, these childhood books about a land called Fillory. And it turns out that Fillory is real. And obviously Fillory is kind of based on Narnia, but these books and the whole concept of this Fillory, this Narnia-like world is very dark. So I'm loving the concept of like a darker magic world and exploring magic, and I believe there's a lot of really cool concepts in here and other worlds and gods, and I really like the TV show, so I'm really excited to be buddy reading this. And yeah, I'm excited. So my next buddy read is The Cajun Seuss by Sayuri Ueda, which I'm buddy reading with Kat at Katadactyl, which I will link her channel down below. Also, please go follow her if you don't, because I love her channel. Love her channel so much. So we've been talking about this book for like a couple months and we finally got around to reading it. So this is a translated Japanese sci-fi novel, and it just sounded so interesting when Kat was talking about it that I was like, I want to read this. I'll buddy read it with you. Like, it sounds fascinating. So the main concept behind it is that there are rounds who are basically intersex people. They have the sex organs of male and female people, but it's a lot more complicated than that. But in this book, that's what they're described as, and they are called rounds, and they have their own community on a space station. So it's just the concept of gender and sex in this advanced sci-fi world that intrigued me. And you know, I identify as non-binary, so I was like, I'm intrigued. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to be buddy reading, especially like a kind of complex sci-fi novel. Yeah, I've already been talking way too long about this. So next up on my TBR is Rust and Stardust by T. Greenwood. Now, Kat at Katadactyl also happens to be reading this month because she was talking about it. It sounded interesting. I requested it from my library and it came in the same month she was reading it. So it's just, we'll probably end up talking about it. So this is fascinating to me because it is about Sally Horner, who was abducted in 1948 by Frank LaSalle, who basically posed as an FBI agent and convinced her to come with him. And it's basically the true story behind the story that convinced Vladimir Nabokov to write Lolita. And it's been a long time since I read Lolita, like a long time. And it just, Lolita's it's an interesting story of abuse. So don't at me about that. So I'm curious to read about the true story that basically brought about Lolita as a famous work. And it will probably be a difficult read, but I like dark books and I like difficult books. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. All right, into some next books that are not so dark. I have a middle grade book, so I'm going from that to a middle grade book. Not necessarily in this reading order, all right? Just happens to be in this stack. Okay, so Cats vs. Robots by Margaret Stoll and Lewis Peterson. This is an ARC copy that I have from Y'all West, and this comes out, I think, September 4th, so really quickly here. But this is a cute middle grade book, Cats vs. Robots. It's kind of like a sci-fi middle grade. So these robots and cats are at war, and they come to the planet and they're looking for Singularity Chip, which just somehow reminds me of Transformers. And the cats want it so they can live longer than their 9 lives, and the robots want it so they can have eternal battery life. But these two human twins get caught up in the battle, and it just sounds like kind of like a cute, fun middle grade. Yeah, my goal has been to read more middle grade this year, and I really haven't read all that much, so here's one. Okay, 2 more. So I have East by Edith Patel, and this is a young adult retelling of, I always say the title backwards, let me get it right, East of the Sun and West of the Moon. I always flip-flop that. So I love the original tale, and so I haven't read this retelling, so I'm very interested to read it. It's about a girl who basically goes on a journey with a bear, and at night she's visited by this man, and she starts to discover his identity and kind of fall in love. But there's some intrigue, twists, betrayal, lots of good stuff. The sequel, West, comes out in October, next month, I think. So I wanted to read this before the sequel comes out. So I'm excited to get to this. It's a little bit of a chunker, but I'm excited to read it. Some young adult fantasy in there for this month. And one more young adult fantasy. The lights are so bright. Ever the Hunted by, I can't even read it, Erin Summerall. And this is the first book in a Clash of Kingdoms novel. The second book is already out, and the third book comes out in December. So this is why I'm picking up this one. And if I like it, I hope to pick up the second one before the third one comes out in December. Like, I'm trying to catch up on some of these books before the sequels get released. So basically this one is about a girl who's the daughter of the royal family. I don't know what to call it, the huntsman. Like in Snow White and the Huntsman, like she has the huntsman go out and catch people. That her dad and her go out and catch criminals for the royal family. That's what they do. Her dad is killed, and so she loses any of like the titles that her father had, and she basically goes to find her father's killer. And there's a bunch of warring kingdoms and magic, and just, yeah, sounds like an interesting fantasy, kind of, you know, reminded me of like that Snow White and the Huntsman type-esque feeling. And it sounded intriguing, and I wanted to read it, so here I am picking it up. Again, a little bit of a chunker, but the text is pretty big in this one, so it probably won't feel as bad when I'm reading it. So that's pretty much it, but I do have 2 small extras, because here's the thing. There's already quite a few on my TBR, and I'm also going to be doing 2 readathons this month. I'm doing Tome Infinity and Beyond, which starts on the 7th and runs until 21st, I think. So it starts pretty quick here, and then it goes throughout the most of the month, and I'm going to be reading sci-fi books for certain challenges, and I already have the books picked out, and it's a lot, and then I already have a lot here. And then I'm doing Contemporary-a-thon, which is like the 13th through the 23rd, I think. There's some overlap, and it's just, I already have my books picked out for that too, but there's a lot of books. There's a lot of books. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I can't read this many books in a month, but it'll be fun trying. You don't know unless you try. So I have all these books, and I thought I would add 2 poetry collections to the mix for times when I need a breather from these books, any of these books. I don't know. Who knows? So this is just a just in case, or a hopefully I can get to these, or just a, you know. So I have Love Her Wild by Atticus. So it's kind of hard to see, everything's so shiny, but I really love this collection because it has like photography with it. You can't quite tell, but some of it's just I love when poetry collections have like extra stuff with it, and it's not just poetry. To me, that kind of adds to the overall feel of the poetry. I don't know, because you get to look at the photography, and I love looking at photography anyway. So to me, I'm just like, I read a poem, and then I look at a picture, and I'm just like, yes. I don't know. So along with that, I have Don't Call Us Dead by Danez Smith. So this one is a collection of queer African-American poetry that I am very much looking forward to reading. I hauled this not that long ago, and I'm just like the typography for some of these poems is so interesting that I'm just really looking forward to reading this one. And that's it. This is my TBR. It's a lot, and you guys are probably gonna think I'm out of my mind when you see this video and my video for my TBR for Tome Infinity and Beyond, and then my Contemporary-a-thon TBR. Like, yes, I know this, but I'm gonna give it my best shot, okay? My Tome Infinity and Beyond TBR is pretty, I've got my sights set pretty high on that TBR. I don't even know why, just to, I guess because I haven't read enough sci-fi this year, so I'm trying to make up for it all in one go, in 1 month, in like a couple weeks for a readathon. What? My Contemporary-a-thon? Why? I don't know. So yeah, these are some books that I'm gonna try to read. Let me know what you guys are reading for your September month of reading books and stuff. Are you doing any readathons? Are you doing any buddy reads? Do you ever just like pile on books to read during the month, knowing that you're not going to make it to most of them? No? Just me? Just me? Yeah? Alright. So, you guys know the drill. Like it if you liked it. Comment down below. Of course, let me know what you guys are reading. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know if you guys are going to read any of these books at some point. That'd be cool. We can have a discussion. I love that kind of stuff. and I'll see you guys in my next video.